How you doing, friends? So I thought I would talk to you about a topic, that has some interest when I watch, other channels and the like. And this one is how to prepare for the next recession. I don't think it's goes against anybody's opinion that the business cycle has been running pretty good. Right, we've been in a 10-year expansion period, and we all know that the business cycle is real, and a recession is in our future, whether it's 2020, 2021, whatever you have. But let's talk about a recession as it appeals to you, the investor, right? You and your family, you and your family unit. So to do that, when I think about this topic, I'm always left with, what the difference is between a recession and a depression. And the joke goes, or the reality goes, if you lose your job, it's a depression, right? If your neighbor loses their job and you have yours, then it's a recession. So that's where I'll start this discussion. When you look at your job, right, are you in a position where you're maybe adding value, meaning revenue, to the company and are a contributor? Are you a part of a business unit that's losing money and could be cut, because of cost savings, right? I've been through many recessions in my career as an employee. I saw how they affect families when you have to make those decisions. And loyalty goes out the window. When companies are cutting, it very rarely comes down to kind of, friendships and personal favors and all of that stuff. You're a row on a spreadsheet, right? I was an accountant for a while, and, it's very non-human. It's really spreadsheet oriented. So, the first thing I would tell you to think about is look at your job and your significant other's job and ask yourself, is there anything I could do through the remaining of this expansion to either be moved into or maybe not risk going into a new endeavor, right? This is probably not the time to go, hey, I want to go run a new project on a new widget that'll come out in 2 years, right? If the recession starts in 12 months and you're halfway through, more often than not, that widget's going to get cut and canceled and never see the light of day. And then you don't have a seat at the table anywhere else. And you're pretty soon, filling out your unemployment, right? So the first thing to think about when you see a recession in the very near future, right, because it just has to be coming, is what can I do to insulate my job? Right. So think about it from that way. Can I get closer to revenue? Can I be in the path on the project or products or whatever that is most likely to survive the business cycle? Because again, the downturns never as long or bad as the upturns, but they'll still hurt. So I would tell you not to risk taking a new project or running a new thing just now, because to do that and then to be in the middle of it before it launches and adds revenue, very easy to get cut. The other thing is, when I go to a startup today where you're like employee 15 or 20 or 30, and maybe you have lots of seed funding today, but that you have to get through concept to get that real round A or maybe round B in a business cycle where people are retrenching, probably not, right? It's not that time. It's not early stage stuff, or we're not at the bottom, right? So that's one thing to think about. So think about your job, think about where you can be to stabilize yourself. Probably not the time to take any great risks. The other thing to realize is people stop spending, or at least stop splurging. Maybe they still spend, but they don't splurge. So, right, is this the time to go get that Airbnb in Beverly Hills or Tahoe or whatever in a inflated market where you're going to have to price it for perfection and hope there's no town or city regulation, right? I don't know that I would be jumping into huge Airbnb commitments in resort towns today, right? Airbnb is a great business model. It's going to be around for a long time. I'm positive of that. But do you want to be buying an asset that requires perfection to perform when you could wait a couple of years and let a recession happen and pick up stuff cheaper and then invest into an uptick? Or do you want to hold on through 2 years or 18 months of a recession where people are retrenching? that's just something to think about. I think some Airbnb models will make perfect sense. If you're doing month-long things to traveling nurses or construction workers, maybe it makes sense. But if you're looking for the weekend travelers and all of that, and you're paying top dollar for the asset, today's maybe not the day. The other thing to realize is that, besides stop splurging, people save more. And, that could mean both saving on a monthly basis or weekly paycheck basis, but also people are going to be pulling money out of the stock market. It happens all the time. I mean, this is crazy to me, right? If you know that when the market turns, you're gonna sell if it falls 10 or 15%, what are you doing? I mean, really, I've invested in the stock market many times, and I'm just not rational, I guess, because I've made plenty of bad decisions and sold long after most of the drop had happened because I just got irritated and, I lost 33% of this or that. Maybe now's the time to take half your position off the table and maybe let the other half run or take it all off. I don't know, because, who knows how long this expansion has. Maybe it's got a couple more years. But just know yourself, right? What did you do last time the market went down? Did you sell in a panic and lose 20% and then miss the upside? Well, take the little upside you have now. And it's just amazing how repetitive we all are as individuals and human beings, right? Greed and fear, and we just consistently repeat the same thing. So that's the other thing. And then the other thing, as far as real estate goes, you have to realize, I've seen this a couple of times now. Lots of you are talking about waiting for the next recession so that you can buy assets. Baloney. Lots of you aren't doing the homework today to know when stuff goes on sale. Today's the perfect time to start investigating your market. The market it certainly feels like it's topping out. So why don't you go spend the time, like I talk about in my course, investigate your market, understand what a 3-2-2 sort of performs and what yield you can earn, so that 4, 5, 6 months from now, when if the market does fall, you can look and know, oh my God, it's on sale. If you're just going to rely on the talking heads on TV to tell you it's on sale, you're not going to buy. Because what the talking heads on TV do is they scare you. The talking heads on TV scare you. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And if you can't deflect that by doing your own homework, your own research, and know what's going on, you're going to let the talking heads, that's why there was no buyers in 2010. And I could buy everything I could right out of the multiple listing service because the talking heads scared you out of investing. It's going to happen again unless you put in the work like I talk about in my course. I'm giving my course away for less than $200. Spend the time, do the consistent effort, and insulate yourself so that when the talking heads talk and scare you, you're like, nope, my market produces 6%. And because everything's on sale, I can earn 9. 9's good for me. And I'll just hold on and wait for it to turn around. Right? When recession comes, that's going to happen. And the few of you that buy the course, do the work, and get prepared will be ready. For you, those of you that wait 6 months to buy the course, you're going to miss this perfect time to learn. Now's the time to learn. The market's topping out. Start to understand where your market's performing. So when it turns, you can see it clear as day that things are on sale. I can already start to see my market evolving, but unless you're doing it every day like I talk about, it's not good. And then also make sure you join the private Facebook group so we can interact every day and stay on the same page. Then the other thing you have to know about recessions is that life happens, right? People will still pass on. They will still get divorced. They will lose their jobs. And some people will be forced sellers at the absolute wrong time, right? Would you want to be a forced seller in 2010 at the bottom of the market? No, but life happens. And if you got to sell, you got to sell. So if you're an investor and you're really putting in the homework, you will find those situations and help those individuals, and both of you will be happy, right? So just realize that with real estate investing, because it is not an asset like a stock that you can sell like that life happens, and sometimes people have to sell at the absolute worst time. Then remember, in recessions, the government and banks can do interesting things. Do you remember what the government did? I think it was like 2010, it might have been 11 for real estate. They created out of nowhere this $8,000 tax credit for first-time buyers. Now, I think it was only good for like 90 days or maybe it was 6 months. And it had an artificial blip in purchases. But again, when the economy gets bad, the government can do unusual things to try to splurge spending. So just realize that can happen. But also realize banks can do interesting things. Now, I don't see it happening this time, certainly not the scale of last time, but realize that lending turned off for real estate investors last recession. Think about that. Everything was on sale. It was clear as day to anybody who was paying attention, but the banks wouldn't lend on it. What are you supposed to do? Well, you should read my book because I talk about what we did and what every one of you could do. Get this on Amazon. And if you've read it, do me a favor, write a 5-star review. I need a few more, please. Thank you very much. But again, realize that the government can do stuff and banks can do stuff. So in the end, if you're getting prepared for the next recession, realize I think you should start by looking at your family unit and asking yourselves if your jobs are positioned to survive an 18-month downturn, right? Are you working in the core of the business or are you on an auxiliary unit that could get canceled in a heartbeat? It's going to happen. There will be some of you that are doing tremendous work and generating the next great project or product, but because it didn't land in time, it'll get cut because some Excel spreadsheet said they had to save dollars and whack 100 heads. It's going to happen. So find out where you are in your job. Realize that people are going to be spending less and splurging a lot less. So if you're buying assets that require people to splurge, be very careful. Your income could be drastically reduced. Then realize that still there are all lots of investors that say they're going to buy in the recession. Most of you won't. Most of you aren't doing the homework that I talk about in my course in preparing you and creating suits of armor so that you can tell someone, no, today is the right time to buy because I can get a 9% return where my market is usually a 6. And if you can't do that, the talking heads are going to scare you. And I don't know what else to tell you. There's probably other ways you can learn this stuff. I'm going to give it to you for less than $200. So if that suit of armor helps you buy one deal in the recession, it's worth it. I really think you should check it out and just see what's going on. Check out some of the other student interviews like Ryan and Keisha talking about how it created focus and created deal flow. It's pretty cool stuff. And then lastly, realize that the government and banks will also be impacted. Maybe the government does another tax credit or the banks stop lending. Realize that there's other avenues that are around you in a recession, depending how deep and how long, that could be impacted. So again, my hopes for you is that you are not impacted and it becomes a depression for your family. The recession is real. It's going to happen. It will probably have 10 more, or 5 more in my lifetime. So it's just part of the business cycle we have in a capitalist society. Fear and greed are always real. Expansion, contraction always happen. So in the end, just know it's coming and get ready for it. All right. Have a great day.